Okay.
Hi, this is Mary Kay. We're painting an octopus today, and I got started and forgot to record it, so now I'm just going to show you where we are and explain what I've done so far. So here's how far I am. This is the picture I'm working from. So the first step was that I drew the octopus. The second step was that I put PBO on all of the suckers. Then the next step was that I painted the background. I wet the background and I painted it all with Antwerp blue. Then I put a little bit of indigo in these three corners. I signed my name here. Then while the paint was still damp, I took Hansa Yellow Medium and Pure, and I touched the paper, the damp paper with the wet yellow paint, and it charged into it. And then the last step was I used iridescent gold and I made little circles around it. So that's how many steps I've done so far. So I'm going to start painting the octopus now. I'm going to try to leave the highlights on the big beak here and this little flap of skin behind that eye. And I'm just going to start, I'm going to paint it wet onto dry. So I'm just going to start putting some yellow spots on the head here, working on this spot around the eye. Now I'm going to use permanent rose and mix that up into the yellow and make kind of a salmon-y pinkish color. This, I want to leave this. This is going to be my lightest area, so I want to make sure I have a lot of water right now. Just painting with water. I just want to have a lot of fun, just mixing the colors and seeing how they react with the paper. Just gonna keeping this kind of pale. Adding more yellow spots. More pink. I'm just gonna just go back and forth in my palette. I'm kind of liking that. Have little highlights. I think I'll leave them in there. I'm just gonna paint in this part in here too. So I'm just gonna really just paint like this, just wet onto dry. Starting with yellow, adding pink, adding water, and I'm going to use Antwerp a little bit. Kind of where it's in the shadows. I can even add a little bit of my indigo. I like how it's, when it's wet, it's bleeding into each other. Right below the eye here, there are some little dark areas. Try to make that look a little further back. Just highlights and darks. So I just add the blue where it's the darks. And then this side in the back here is nice and bright orange. Nice dark orange. So to make orange, we all know that it's yellow and pink. We've done a lot of orange because we live in Half Moon Bay. And that orange next to the blue is just really beautiful. I'm going to put this same orange around the eye here. Closer eye. One with the eyeball. And it has darks and lights. So I'll put the lights in and then later I'll go back in and add the darks. So there's his beak and this little bit behind the eye. So now I just have to pick a spot where I'm going to go over the tentacles and just start painting them all in. I think I'll go and do this little flap of skin. I don't know what they're called, the flaps of skin. But they're like a little cloak. That go over about a third of each tentacle. And I can make purple with my Antwerp and permanent rose. Put some kind of shadows in there with purple or blue. I like that purple. Still damp, so I'm going to wait to put the darks in the eye. Okay, I'm going to get going on. I'm going to go to this leg right here. And it's kind of starting off just sort of exactly the same with just a little yellow in there. And then my permanent rose. Makes it orange and pink. Paint with a little water. I'm going to use these blues and purples to show the different curlicues here where the tentacle is curled up. I just paint that Antwerp right over my other colors, and it really kind of takes over. So the center is a very dark blue. Here I have this little curlicue. Some blues around, even just each tentacle or each sucker. Colors are so beautiful, you can't go wrong. They all work with each other. And then when we take off the PBO, we'll have all the tentacles just all nice and bright for us. Now I just pick a different spot. A different spot to paint. I'm going to work on this one now. So again, I start with the yellow and go from there. If I have two, so one arm is next to the other arm, I try to show the difference by changing colors at that spot. So I know if this one's the one in front, if I make the one behind it darker, it'll make the other one pop up and be more in front. I got some green, I don't mind that. The pure pink is pretty. So one of the things I just did, if you want to look at the picture for just a second, is that this tentacle is the one that comes out and up and around. So what I've done is I've darkened to the left side, and I'm darkening to the right side. And then that's going to make this guy really appear up front, especially when we take off the PBO and have those big white suckers. I'm just going to keep going and painting all the colors, starting with the yellow. Well, in this case, I went straight to the blue because I wanted it darker. I think I'm going to pause the video while I paint all this. So I finished painting all the legs and around the suckers, and I filled in the dark areas of the eye with those same colors. Hands of yellow medium, permanent rose, Antwerp blue, and a little bit of indigo. Not much indigo at all, mostly Antwerp mixed with those others. And the PBO is on. So the next step is going to be to dry this really, really well, and then use my pickup to remove the PBO. It just has to be so dry though. So now that it's dry and I took off all the PBO, all the little suckers are all pure white. So now I just need to very painstakingly put a little bit of color in every one of these. So using the same colors, and a little bit of blue. So we're not trying to make them look exactly like suckers, we're just trying to be playful. So here's a little Antwerp, the pinks, yellow, dark dots in some of the centers. If it's more in shadow, then the suckers will be more in shadow also. You can also add some color behind the suckers. And that's one leg, and then I just have to just add the color to all the suckers on all the legs. Recording.
Uh-oh.
Now we're recording. Oh, Penny, it's beautiful.
Oh, nice.
I like the dark background and then the dark legs. You've made it so it really looks like it's in the water, and it also the highlights really work because of those darks.
Yeah, very pretty.
That's a signature.
Really good. Ah, it's I really, really like it. I like your water and your octopus and your tentacles. It's a nice drawing. It's a good size. Yeah.
Like it's dancing.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, your colors are so good. He's so orange. And I like his dark tentacles too. And the water looks like it's got, you know, little phytoplankton in it. It's a good eye. You did great on all the suckers.
Thank you.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Look at those nice colors.
Oh, that's pretty.
And that
Yeah.
eye is fabulous.
Yeah, really good. That you have all those blended colors in the octopus, and then the water really looks behind.
You know, I used alcohol to do the spurts of the water.
Aha. Very good.
Yeah, but I haven't. I'm not done. I mean, I just took the PBO off. So
Yeah. Okay, Vicki, let me pin you.
Oh, nice.
Oh, look at him. He's so cute. He looks like he's smiling. He's got the eye like, oh, you did such a good job. You can make copies of that. Just take it to a copy shop and have them copy it on cardstock, and you can send that out for all your little birthday cards to all your whoever, all your little people, all your fun people. It's adorable.
The white border's really nice.
Yep. Yeah, I'd go get that one copied. That's just a very fun painting.
thanks. It's little.
Yeah, it's all right that they're little. Little paintings are good. Well, that's everyone's. That was very, very fun lesson. Complicated, not really complicated, but very detailed. And so thank you all for joining us today and being willing to have your paintings on YouTube. I think people like
Great,
to see them.
okay, thank you.
Okay, so I will send, I'll say goodbye to everybody on YouTube. Bye, everybody.